Hi, this is an informative speech by Steve Cosby. This specific purpose of this speech here today is I want to inform my audience of the different views out there on climate change. There are several different views on climate change. Some say that the climate is being drastically influenced by mankind, and others state that climate change is clearly a natural occurring event that's just going to happen anyway. Unquestionably, though, it's at the center of the political race, with so many people having their own opinions on this most important topic. This paper will review the different views out there that are going around about climate change. There's so many different opinions on climate change today. Some political parties suggest if we don't drastically reduce our own carbon footprint, the world as we know it is going to come to an end. Others believe climate change is a cyclical occurrence that has been happening for millions of years. Subsequently, people don't know who to believe or trust with the facts on this topic. According to NASA at climate.nasa.gov, there is no question that increased levels of greenhouse gases must cause the Earth to warm in response. Ice cores drawn from Greenland, Antarctica, and the tropical mountain glaciers show that the Earth's climate responds to changes in greenhouse gas levels. NASA does acknowledge that the recent warming events have a high probability and significance because they have determined that this has occurred due to the result of human activity since the mid-20th century. According to climateactionreserve.org, scientists have confirmed that the Earth is warming and that greenhouse gas emissions from cars, power plants, and other man-made sources, rather than natural variations in climate, are the primary cause. The personnel at Climate Action Reserve directly put the blame on man-made sources and mankind itself. They state that greenhouse gases from things like cars, buses, boats, airplanes, just to name a few, are indeed the cause of greenhouse gases and thus contribute in a very big way to global warming. Companies like the Climate Action Reserve work with other like-minded companies throughout the world to come up with solutions to today's environmental hazards. They work to offset the damages that has been done to the environment, and they advocate for a safer method of living. Last but not least, the people over at skepticalscience.com, well, they believe, or they have many theories of why climate change is a myth, and they give a list of different topics on these theories. They state their views are based on a different set of facts. Some say science-based, and others will argue that the science behind the whole global warming theory is a conspiracy based on botched scientific evidence. Over at www.nationalreview.com, their website states that last summer, a minority staff reported from the U.S. Senate Committee on Environment and Public Works gave details on a billionaires club, a shadowy network of charitable foundations that distribute billions of dollars to advance the climate alarmist. Shadowy nonprofits such as the Energy Foundation and Tides Foundation distribute billions to far-left green groups such as the National Resources Defense Council, which in turn sends staff to the EPA, who then direct federal grants back to the same greenhouse groups. My conclusion, I have looked at a few different points of views on climate change. One from NASA, Climate Action Reserve, and skepticalscience.com, and nationalreview.com. I have to say that NASA and Climate Action Reserve both have scientific evidence on solid research that greenhouse gases are affecting the Earth's climate and thus undoubtedly contributing to global warming. The last website, skepticalscience.com and nationalreview.com, were basically stating how researchers are taking money to advance the narrative for their politicians. I feel that it's best to go with information that has actual science behind it and studies that have been done and proves the claims, rather than put my trust in some political claims that want to make outrageous claims without any proof. So I think you've heard some of the claims today, and you're going to need to decide on yourself what makes more sense for you guys. Evidence-based and backed by science, or politics. So thank you for listening to my speech today. I hope you guys can take that information and come to your own conclusions. Thank you very much for your time.